What is up, YouTube? I'm Uncle 40 here. So we're going to be looking at some really interesting stuff out of the OCG this week. And the first one is going to be Sacred Beast. Now, you guys know that they just got the whole structure deck shenanigans over there, right? And now that they've got the whole structure deck released, well, players are trying to, adapt some things and just try some different concepts and whatnot. And this is basically what we've come up with. So this is basically Raphael and Haman control. So we have triple copies of the Chaos Summoning Beast. So you can tribute this card to special summon one Uriah, Haman, or Raphael from your hand, ignoring its summoning condition. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Fallen Paradise from your deck to your hand. Okay, so automatically free summon conditions and the ability to get our field spell up and running. We also have triple copies of the Dark Beckoning Beast. So when this card is normal summon, you can add one Uriah, Haman, or Raphael, or one card that specifically lists any of those cards in its text from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Dark Beckoning Beast once per turn. During your main phase, you can normal summon one level 1 Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense in addition to a normal summoner set. Hello, friend. Then we have 2 copies of the Dark Summoning Beast. So you can tribute this card, special summon one Uriah, Haman, or Raphael from your hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions. Also, monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of this turn. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Uriah, Haman, or Raphael from your deck to your hand. This card literally does a lot for this deck. We have 2 copies of Pankratops for field control, 1 Phantasme, and then we have triple copies of Haman. We have triple copies of Maxi, and then we have 2 copies of Raphael. Then we have 2 copies of Lord Darkness, triple copies of Called by the Grave. We have 1 copy of the Cerulean Skyfire. So special summon Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder, using its own procedure. You can send face down spells you control instead of face up continuous spells, or any combination of both. And once per turn, you can negate the effects of your opponent's spell trap cards, or effect that resolves while you control an attack position Haman. Then you can change the Haman to defense mode. And then if a face-up Uriah, Haman, or free negates is what we care about. Then we have the 2 copies of Fallen Paradise. So your opponent cannot target your 4 cards, including Armatile, in your monster zones with card effects. Also, those monsters cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects while you control them. If you control Uriah, Haman, and Raphael, or Armatile, you can draw 2 cards. Literally, this is everything that this deck kind of needed, and more. We have 2 copies of 1-for-1. Level 1. So good. We have triple copies of Pot of Desires, 2 copies of Super Poly, and we have triple copies of the 7 Spirit Gates Unleashed. So once card is activated, add 1 Uriah, 1 Haman, or 1 Raphael, or 1 monster that specifically lists any of those names in the text from your deck to your hand. And once per turn, you can discard 1 card, special summon 1 Fiend monster with 0 attack and defense from your graveyard. Once per turn, if you control a level 10 monster, you can add 1 continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand. So we can get back our Cerulean Skyfire. And then we have triple copies of Skill Drain because, we don't care what's going on, because we have these guys to hide behind. Now, down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Security Dragon, 2 copies of Almirage, 1 Enema, 1 Link Karibo, 1 Unicorn, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, 1 Juggernaut, and 1 Gustav, 1 copy of the Gingdarli, 1 Dora the Explorer, 1 copy of the 7 Sins, and 1 Ravenous Tarantula. And then for some reason, our 1 fusion for this deck is Thunder Dragon Colossus. I don't know why. This is just what he was doing. And we have 1 copy of Nemesis Corridor, 2 copies of Nibiru, triple copies of Gamma with 1 driver, 1 Feather Duster, triple evenly matched, 1 Royal Decree, and triple copies of Solemn Judgment, wrapping up this list. I do like this deck as a slower paced stun deck. The fact that Super Poly kind of gets you more access to things. I'd almost consider Pot of Avarice in this deck, which is a really strange thing to say, but you're putting big beat sticks on the field, and you're not even trying to do Raphael things, or Haman's probably about the best it's going to get for your deck, honestly. But it's interesting to see how this deck functions. All right, next up, we have what remains of this deck. Now, Red MD is coming back with an errata to be once per turn now, which honestly is going to give a little bit of fresh air back into the whole Hieratics engine. Now, the last time I've seen Hieratics see play was a very long time ago. You have to remember when they're all tributed, you basically get to summon the vanillas from your deck, basically giving you access to more options, more extending plays, and things like that. So, we have triple copies of Astral Blossom, Enjoy Spring, one copy of DD Crow, one copy of Destrudo, one copy of the Dragoonity Arma Leviathan. I have not seen Leviathan in so long, but this card does some cool little soft blocks for your opponent. We have one Phalanx, triple copies of Aset, triple copies of Nethet, triple copies of Hieratics Dragon of Su, and triple copies of Tefnuit, with the triple copies of Maxi, one Red MD. Then we have one Rocket Synchron, one copy of the Hieratics Seal of the Dragon Overlord, or Sun Dragon Overlord. We have one Labradorite Dragon, and one copy of the Wattail Dragon. Then we have triple copies of Call by the Grave, two copies of Crossout Designator, one Dragon Ravine, one copy of the Dragoonity Divine Lance, one Feather Duster, and then we have triple copies of Convocation, and two copies of Lightning Storm. Down here in the extra deck, we have one copy of Triple Burst Dragon, one Link Cross, one copy of Heavenly Spheres, one Pisty and one Romulus, one copy of the Darkness Metal, the Dragon of Dark Steel, one Halifibrax, one Boral Sword, one Boral End. You guys remember, has this card ever seen play? So it's the Link 5, by the way. Cannot be destroyed by a battle or card effects. Also, neither player can target this with monster effects. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And then quick effect, you can target one effect monster on the field and one rocket in your graveyard. Negate the effects of that monster on the field. And if you do special summon that monster from your graveyard, your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to this card's effect. 3+ effect monsters, by the way. We have two Dragon of Atum. We have one Gaia Charger, one Martial Metal Marcher, one copy of the Boral Savage Dragon, and one copy of the Atomic Scrap Dragon. Down here in the extra deck, our side, we have one DMZ Dragon, one copy of Dragon Buster, one Effect Veiler, one Phantasme, two Phantasme, one Ghost Ogre, one Nibiru, one Starving Venom, one Union Carry for the soft lock, one Lightning Storm, two copies of Super Poly, one Infinite Permanence, and two copies of Red Reboot, wrapping up this list. And then the last list we have here is basically Rock, Gemnite, Shadal. There's a lot going on in this deck. So first up, we have two copies of Adamantia Researcher. So if you control a rock monster except for Researcher, you can special summon this card from hand. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. If you do special summon one excavated level 4 or lower non-rock type tuner, place the rest on the bottom of your deck. Well, Gemnites meet the bill for this thing. So we have two copies of Researcher, one copy of Block Dragon, two copies of Crystal Rose, one Pankratops, one Dot Scraper, two copies of the Eldritch, because dropping our fusion in the graveyard is not a problem whatsoever. Then we have two Lazuli, two copies of Obsidian, triple copies of Kumamungus, with the one Shadal Dragon, triple copies of Lapis, and the one copy of the Tourmaline. We also have two copies of Adamantine Sign, so target one rock monster in graveyard, special summon in defense mode. If it's an Adamantia, you can choose one level 4 lower rock monster from your deck and place it on the top. So you also get to stack if you're doing it with Adamantia. We have one Brilliant Fusion, one Called by the Grave, triple copies of the Gem Knight Fusion, one Monster Reborn, one copy 1-for-1, triple copies of Reasoning, triple copies of Shadal Fusion, two Unexpected Die, and two copies of Red Reboot. Like, what do you call in this deck? Like, I saw a discussion today, people were talking about what's the best thing to call if you're blinding, and I keep getting told 3. If you call 3, I guess you can hit the Obsidian. Okay, I guess. Then in the next deck, we have one Unicorn, two Phantom Quartz, one Curious, one Cross Sheep, one Appaloosie, one Zirconia, one Topaz, one Seraphite, two Master Diamond, two copies of Lapis Lazuli, one Brilliant Lady Diamond, and one copy of the El Shadal Shakanaga. Side deck here of triple Gamma, one Mud Dragon, one Driver, triple copies of Eclipse, two copies of Called by the Grave, one Instant Fusion, two Super Polymerization, and two copies of Twin Twisters, wrapping up a very, very interesting set of deck profiles. Actually, the stun list is probably the one I'm most interested in for the Sacred Beast. So you guys think about these decks, please. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. And well, guys, I got you on the flip side. The ride never truly ends. Thank you, patrons, for helping support the channel. Without you guys, I don't know if I'd still be doing this. And for those of you that like Cardfight Vanguard, FanCool40 is here for all your content needs. And those of you asking if I sell cards, mcoolgames.com for all your trading card game needs. Check the description for more interesting info. Thanks for watching, guys.